Hi all, it's Karynjean and welcome back. Let me make sure my big belly. Okay, yeah, hi, welcome back. I'm not quite sure what we're gonna do today. I was on the phone the other day with a friend, and while I was on the phone, of course, I just put this down. I didn't do any more decorating that I'm aware of. I remember when I was growing up, you know, back when we all had landlines and there was only one phone in the house and it was in the kitchen. My mother, whenever she was on the phone, she was cleaning the kitchen because she couldn't just sit on the phone and talk. She had to be doing something. So what we need to do today, I hope you all are doing okay. I have not been doing Rachel's challenges over at Roxy Creations, Roxy's weekly challenges, because I look at them, but the stuff she's doing, I only do the ones that I think I would use and things, and she's doing some stuff now that is not something that I would think. Okay, so this is where we left off, the don't do what I do. I think I recovered it well, though. Let me just take a look. This had been, the glue had seeped out a little bit here, but seems to be okay. This, I realize, is not centered, but let me see if I can shift that. Anyway, so there we go. We're doing okay. We do need to get working on journaling cards. I was thinking maybe today we would do a master board. And do some journaling cards. Still have to figure out what else to do here. Here's the other one. Placed it over here. Ooh, and I haven't checked on it since I glued it in. I realized after I made these envelopes, what I should have recommended to you as opposed to using liquid glue would be to use double-sided adhesive tape, because then I wouldn't have had that problem. If I had used double-sided adhesive tape, I wouldn't have had the problem with the other one where the glue seeped out. Yeah, so there's that. And, oops. Not quite sure what happened here. Just gonna, it's a bit of a bump. So this one is opening no problem. Okay, and see, it's all the way over here. I mean, that glue really spread. This pocket's a lot more narrow than what I had hoped for and anticipated. Over here, it's not a problem. Over here, well, not much to be done about it now, right? Yeah. Okay. So there. Well, what we were going to do last time is we were going to throw some stuff on the edges here, so we can still do that. Now, so far, so this is what we have so far. We have the green from this here, which I thought originally was going to be the wrong green, but it goes well with that paper, so it's okay. We have some of the crocheted lace, crocheted trim there. That's a different one than this. Here is a piece of the flannel, right? We did that there, the flannel. Growth chart, here's these flowers, which kind of brighten this up over here. I like that. There's this with our pocket there. The center. I might fuss with it. I might do some fussing with this, actually. Off camera. I'll let you know if I fuss with it or not. We have here a side pocket. Here's this. Here we have this pretty pink. And then what I put down on top of it was just a piece of the homemade washi tape out of the tissue paper. Just kind of cover that edge a little bit. Don't know why, but also it pulls up the color here and it brightens that up a little bit too with the brown. This is the glassine envelope pocket. Here we have this. This is our fabric. I don't think I've done anything in the second signature. We need to pay attention to the second signature. So let's just continue here for a minute. Okay, there's the first signature. So here's the second signature. So we need to put some stuff in here in this second signature as far as trims and edging and stuff. Now we could put something here. The question is, do we want to put it, what side of the paper do we want to put it on? Did we do anything to the back of this? We did not do anything to the back of this. We can put something on this side, which will hang off here and give it a little bit of, we could actually do both sides with the same thing. Why don't we do that? To really, this is actually the second signature, right? We also need to go back into the third signature. So let's just play around with doing some page edging and decorating and stuff here with this. Let's just see what we got. I really don't want to cover that paper. And if I did that, that would totally cover the paper. That's too much. Too much. We have our rosebuds again, which kind of look like those flowers there. But nope, too much. I'm really thinking on the other side to have it peek out. Here is this bit of flat pearls. Now these are, I think this is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we could do 2 and 2 on each because we don't have enough. I don't think I have any more of this either. So we could do 2 and 2. All right, let's just take a look right here. We're going to cut it off here. And if we did 2, I tried to get my fancy, I've been looking at my fancy camera, you know, the new camera that I bought over a year ago and haven't figured out yet. I tried to do it here. I'm just going to have to spend time with it, which I haven't done yet because, you know, I have my routine in the morning. You don't want to know my routine. It's a pretty sad routine. I will say, though, thankfully, that to trim that off, I still wake up at the same time every morning. You know, I'm still wide awake by 5 o'clock in the morning or so. Not ready to get out of bed. But blessedly, the dog has not been whining or moaning or groaning or anything to get me out of bed in the morning, which is usually what happens. Whining I have no patience for whining. I really don't. It just gets on my nerves, you know. I remember one of my nieces, when she was a little girl, that's all she did was whine. Of course, her one aunt, not me, one of her aunts spoiled her mercilessly so that she got rewarded for whining. And, yeah, not a good example. I'm trying to cut off these little bits that are hanging off here. All right, well, I'll fuss with that later. That's going to take forever. But I am going to cut them off before I would glue this down. Or maybe not. I don't know. See, now I would do something like that because it's pretty much kind of fades into the background, but it also gives it a little something, a little finished edge. What I was thinking of doing, so I am probably going to do that. Now we have these different I'm looking at this one. This one is a little bit more, this one that I used here is scalloped and a little bit more tailored, so to speak, whereas this one is a little bit more not tailored. I don't know how to describe it. I don't want to insult anybody by describing this, right? But it's a little bit more not as tailored as that one. I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not as tailored as that one. So this is what I'm thinking. Let's see if we can get it in here. And let's see what it looks like. There's the dog whining again. It is Monday afternoon here in South Central Pennsylvania. Not quite sure what part of Pennsylvania I live in. It's very confusing to me. So like that. Okay, which is what we're going to do. I really do have better luck when I don't think about it too much, when I just let my instincts guide me. All right, so we're going to glue it onto the reverse side of the paper. Here we go, a bead, small bead of Fabrifix. I'm going to make it a little wider because that is a little bit wider, that one, as far as the edge piece here. And let's see what we got. So putting it down there and there. There. Little bit of glue on my fingers. Not that much. Tiny little bit. Okay. So there. And then these flat little pearls we're going to put here. And I guess I won't fuss so much about cutting off these little bits here. I'm not quite sure that they're actually showing up. So there's that. You probably can't even see them. They're probably not even coming across on the camera, quite honestly. It's the little bit of connecting thread between them, right? Right. Oh, my goodness. So I had a lovely conversation with my daughter today. I hadn't spoken to her in a while. And we were on the phone for over half an hour. It was quite lovely. What I consider my home congregation, the church that my daughter was raised in, is a church called Trinity Episcopal Church in Ambler, Pennsylvania. And there's a lovely history of the church. trinityambler.com if you're interested. But I don't even know when, a few years ago or longer, I think it was right before the pandemic. It was the fall before the pandemic. So what was that, 19, I think? I can't even remember. 19, 18, I don't know. Anyway, the church building, the original church building burnt down before we moved to Pennsylvania, and they rebuilt it. So that was back in the late 80s, early 90s. And we moved to Pennsylvania when my daughter was 5 years old. So that was church. That was our church. And it was my church until I went to seminary. And I still have church family. My church family is still there. But anyway, so the fall before the pandemic, the rector had retired. I think that's spring. And there goes the dog. My brother's down there. And so they got a new rector in the fall, and then there was a really bad storm in the fall. And and the church was severely damaged. Actually, it became condemned. And it's, so then there's been the battle between the church and the insurance company, everything going on for years. But because of the damage to the church has to be torn down. And because of the insurance settlement, or whatever, the amount of money that it would cost to rebuild the church is more money than the church. It's millions and millions of dollars, right? That's just the way those things are. So, and even to tear the church down, it's going to cost millions of dollars. And I know I had told my daughter this. I was pretty sure I told my daughter this, but we were having a long conversation about it on the phone, and she was saddened by it. She said, well, because my daughter's not yet married, and she figured, well, her plans were that if she didn't have an outside wedding, that she would, of course, get married at Trinity Church, because that's been her church. And so we were having conversations, so that made her sad. And then she was talking about what's going to happen to all the stained glass. And I said, well, the stained glass isn't the original stained glass to the church. But still, so we were talking about that. And she's like, well, let me know before they tear it down. I said, you can't get in it. It's condemned. You won't be able to go in it, which made her really sad. It would be nice if they were able to, when they were tearing the church down. I'm going to have to talk to one of my friends who still sits on the vestry. Sissy, my friend Sissy, my sister, Sissy. She still sits on vestry to see, what they can do for the parishioners so that we can still have a piece of church. Because I think they're looking at this other church building, which it's not an Episcopal church. It's another church. It doesn't matter that it's not an Episcopal church. It's another church. And that church is really not doing well, and they've been thinking of selling the church. So I believe our church would be able to, Trinity Church would be able to buy that church, which is another historic church in the Ambler area. So there's that. But there's such history with Trinity Episcopal Church in Ambler, Pennsylvania, that it just makes us all very sad. All right, now let's cut these down. So, when they rebuilt the church, they put in this organ company, I think from Germany, came over and installed this magnificent organ, pipe organ. And I guess in organ circles, I believe there's a thing in organ circles. People would come around to listen to the organ and to play the organ and stuff. So, there's just, I think they were able to save the organ. I don't know if it would go into the new church building or not, though, or if they're going to have to sell the organ as well. I think when they do decide what they're going to do, they're not going to sell the property. They're going to, because there's the rectory or the parsonage, the house that there's the parsonage on the property. And there's also another house, the caretaker's cottage. I'm not quite sure what they're planning on doing. Very long story, and I'm sorry if I'm. It's just sad. So they're not going to sell the property because developers will get a hold of it, and yeah. So they're going to do something for the community with the property, which is nice. So that it'll still be home somewhat. Okay, so there. That looks nice. Oh, get you away. Okay, so we've done that. Now, let's go back to... Yeah, so my daughter's like, she's thinking she wants to buy a piece of stained glass, like if one of the stained glass windows breaks or something. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. They're going to sell all the stained glass windows to, help recoup their losses, so to speak. And again, because it's none of those windows are original. Those windows were put in when the church was rebuilt in the late 80s. There were no historical value or anything, but I'm sure, I don't know. maybe they'll, I don't know what they'll do. I don't know. So, do I have, I know I have more of that. What I was thinking, a thought crossed my mind when I was thinking about this. I don't know if I have enough of this, like maybe putting this on the edge. Oh, wouldn't that look pretty? Let's see if I have enough of this. I don't know if I have enough of this. I don't even know where it is at this point. Here it is. Let's see. Oh, God, yeah, I have enough. Let's see. It would take 4. Oh, no. Things are better in odd numbers, not even numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would take 4 flowers on the edge. I'm going for it. I am going for it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have to cut down here. We're also going to have to cut in a little bit because we need to be able to glue. We need something for the glue to hang on to. Oops, it's stuck to my finger. Okay, so we have, move things out of the way. I just cut down. So I'm going to cut into about here. Don't think it's going to need all that. Okay. And I'm going to cut this down here. What I'm going to do here is I am going to cut off these. And hopefully it's not going to cause the whole thing to fray at some point or another. Probably will, though. Knowing my luck. It'll fray in 3 days. Just want to trim that off just a little bit. And a little bit over here. And there. And this one here. There. Let's see how we did. It doesn't go full length, but oh, dagnabbit. I should put it in. See, this is why you need to think about these things and put them in before you. Wonder how much of this I can pull up. Probably not enough. Right side, wrong side. So, really needs to go underneath. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, golly. Let's see if we can do this. Gently, gently. I am getting it in there. Oops. Let's see. There. Okay. Ooh. I think I didn't get underneath the paper. I kind of got... Ugh. All right, let's see if that's enough. And my... Ow! Shoot, that hurt. Gonna have to get my head in here so we can see what I'm doing. Surgery again. I'm doing surgery again is what I'm doing. Here comes the dog. All right, we're just gonna have to do this bit by bit and pray for the best. Pray for the best. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue here. Right? To get us started. Get that in there. All right, I'm just gonna go down the whole thing with the glue. Hope you're catching this on the camera. Push it in, 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 push it in. And throw some more glue on top to seal this back up, hopefully. Okay, and press it down and pray for the best. Let's, oh geez Louise. This one needs to be tucked in a little bit more. Can we tuck you in a little bit more? I don't think so. Maybe get you over there. Come on, get you. Hello, hello. I'm looking for tweezers. I'm looking for tweezers. I'm looking for tweezers. Here they are. Thing fell over. Oh. Don't know if I can get that. All right, I don't think, sorry, I can never find my tweezers because they're always hiding. Maybe I should put them someplace else. All right, these tweezers will hang on the side. These are the reverse tweezers where you squeeze them to open them. Put them on the side too. All right, so what do you think? It's getting, I like it. It's getting lost. It's too wide. It flops down, which is actually kind of fine. It flops down. We need to figure out what closure we're going to put on this too. And I'll probably use wide ribbon. I'll put something here to feed it through. Then we can put a big knot on it. Let me see what I have. Like this. Okay. Right, I can sew like a little loop here. And, oh, I cut it too long. But that's okay. And then it would just be a tie and a nice pretty bow like so. And we'd also put spine jewelry there, right? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, but you never know, I might change my mind. Okay, so we've done that. Okay, so we have the first, so we have, let's go back here. So we have 1, 2, 3 in the first signature. We have this here in the second signature plus that. Let's go to the third signature. We'll go back to the second signature to see what if anything we're going to do. So we're talking about things hanging off the edge. I would put something here because it would go with this. We can use what we used in the middle there. This is flat, so this wouldn't hang off the edge. It would be something to go down the side of a page. These are kind of narrow. Let's go back to this one. Let's go back to this one. Now, we can hang it. We hang it on the reverse side. What do we have on the reverse side here? Not much of anything. Okay. There. And we have there two. All right, well, I'm not going to fuss with this one then. I'm not going to put this here. So it's, I think I heard the rain start. I think it was supposed to start raining today. And the area not far from me, I don't think we're expecting any snow here, but an area called the Lehigh Valley, which is Allentown, which is not far. It's like, I don't know, 30-minute drive up the road, 45-minute drive up the road. I think they're supposed to be getting some kind of snow event. And perhaps even Philadelphia. I don't think we're getting any snow here tonight. Maybe, I don't know. I wasn't paying too close attention, quite honestly. Okay, so we have that. So you see the difference how, I can't really bend this. One is just, this is all very tailored. It's also a slightly different color, a little bit darker, and how this one is just more, and it has like a little flower. This is scallops, and the other one is like flowers. All right, let me glue on my fingers. I've been doing my poor hands. I cut my finger here the other day. I had apples, they were starting to turn, so I made applesauce out of them, and then I took the cores and the peels to make apple cider vinegar, because I'm trying to get to as much of a zero waste kitchen as I can. It's not possible, but I'm working on it. I'm improving. But I have the slicer and corer attachment to my KitchenAid. You know, the metal apple cores and slicers and peelers that, you know, you put on the counter and you crank. I had a couple of those. One of them I gave to my daughter because my grandson loves apple pie. So it's like, you know, here, make apple pie. I don't think. So I got this fancy attachment to my KitchenAid, and somehow I cut my finger, and don't ask me how, when I was doing that. So I went back to the old-fashioned way and just cut the apples and peeled them by hand. Weren't that many of them. But I have this cut on my finger, which is kind of like a paper cut, and it hurts right now because I don't have a Band-Aid on it because I'm trying to let the air get to it to heal it some. Very long story, I know. I'm in a very chatty mood today. Lots of long stories. Okay, so here we have pretty pink. We can use our pink. Oh, there goes the dog. I don't think my brother's down there. Oops. We could use our pink on the edge of that. Ouch. What did I do I'm going to have to go downstairs and deal with her. Okay, I'll be right back. Excuse me. Okay, I'm back, and I put a Band-Aid back on my finger because it was hurting. And so, okay, so I was doing, right, so the first one, well, no, we're just going to leave this here because this is the middle of our book, and we're just so in love with that. So I'm not going to do that same effect here to this middle of this signature because no. So I'm going to put this aside and what can we do here? We need to, like this, we need to build up with pockets or something. We'll figure that out later. This has this here. It's so pretty. So what we can do then is we can put this over here, right? We can do that, and then we can do washi tape out of, I'd have to make another piece of washi tape out of the tissue paper to cover it. This is not long enough, and I do not think, I do have another piece of it. I suppose I could do that. Let's see. Oh, we still have this one we have to put in. This is the not being able to be happy with red hair quote. So, all right. So first let's do this. And already the book is not staying closed. It's not doing much of anything. Let's see if I can prop it up there. And I want there. I think that was it. This goes somewhere. This goes here. Oh my goodness. So my daughter. We were, of course, talking about my grandson. And he was in another wrestling tournament this past weekend. He came in 5th, and only the top 4 finishers were going on to the next level. So he was a little bit upset about that. But she was telling me how, so they do have that one state tournament championship. They're going to St. Patrick's Day weekend. But she was saying how, he's in 8th grade now, so he'll be in high school next year, how the high school wrestling coach wants him to start practicing with them. I guess although wrestling is over, they're still doing their, practices and workouts and stuff. I didn't get to really talk to her more about that. I wanted to talk more in depth about what those high school coaches are talking about and wanting from him, because she also said that my grandson, he plays offense. He had been playing offense and defense, O-line and D-line, and she said that there's the lineman camp or training or something that they're starting up, and that, again, the high school is wanting him to show up for that. I am, so I'm not quite sure at this point. I'm confused as to, here, why don't we make a new one? And I'm sure I've done this with you guys before, but homemade washi tape out of tissue paper. So here's a piece of tissue paper, piece of thread on it that looks like it needs to be ironed. It does. I'm going to have to take this to the iron. And one way to do it, and what I was originally going to do, is this type of double-sided adhesive, which is strong, but it's not like, super glue, like the scrapbook.com adhesive is like total super glue. It's also thicker, I think. But because I have such a large piece here, what I was actually thinking of doing is, because it's long enough, I can put it down, use a piece of the scrapbook adhesives, put this down on it, and then I'd be able to trim it on my trimmer to the different widths that I want. That's what I was thinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the ironing board, which I need to set up, and I need to turn on the iron, do all that, iron it out, and then I'm going to come back and we will stick it down on that and then be able to cut it down the way we want. So I'll be back. Okie dokes. Here I am. Here I am. So let's pull out one of these sheets if I can. Okay. And as you can see, this tissue paper is all wonkadoodle. This edge right here is the only straight edge. So what I am going to attempt to do is I will peel off the little, because they have this release strip, right? Hello? Let me peel off this little release strip piece, Bill, please. Get that little piece out. All right, let me move the book over a little bit. So I'm going to peel this down. Oh, geez Louise. Just see if I can get that, because some of the glue is stuck to the release strip. So lucky me. And I'm going to, whoops, nope. Well, let me see if I could do this a little bit. Straighten it out just a little bit by hand. Of course, it's going to be crooked, but that's fine. I don't need that piece there. Now, this is the straight edge. Line it up with, let's move it down here, right there. Hopefully. Let's hopefully, okay. All right, now we're going to pull this up. Ugh. Rub the glue off my fingers. There. Okay. Now, what we're going to do, a little bump. Oh, it's because my work surface is bumpy because it has glue on it. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to square it up. I'm going to do this. Just trim that bit off. And then I'm going over here to there. Trim that bit off. This we're going to stick in my adhesive drawer, which is the top drawer on my left-hand side, because that's extra. And then we're going to also, because I can see the tissue paper through this, we're going to square off the bottom as well. That little bit. Oh, and hopefully, oh, I have some glue that's stuck to the tissue paper right up here. Let's see if I can get that off without doing any damage. I don't necessarily want to put the cornstarch on it because, well, I guess I'm going to have to. Wrong one, cornstarch. Let me try this one. There it is right there. Okay. Now, how long is this? This is 10 inches. Okay, we don't need that 10 inches. We need 8.5 inches, so we need to do 1.5 inches this way. Let's do 1.5 inches off. There. There. Gives us that piece. And now we have 8.5 inches, and now we can cut it down. So do we want, that's 1 inch, that's 1/2 inch. Do we want 1/2 inch? Let's do it the other way. Get most of it here. That's 1 inch, that's 1/2 inch right there. I don't think I want it wider than 1/2 inch, right? Well, maybe I am going to go a little bit wider because I want to cover the bump that's there. The tiny little bump that was made by that very thin okay. Now, let's see if we can get the backing paper off. Oh, that's going to be fun, isn't it? Although I have nails now. My nails grow so quick. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Let me try with my fingernails. Of course, they're covered in cornstarch. If we kind of do that to it. I know my head's going to get in the way now because I need to. I wear glasses, as you may know, But in order for me to see like this, I need to look over the top of my glasses so I can see. Here it is. Got it, got it. Did I get it? I thought I had it. Right there. I have it, I have it. Oh. Let's see if I can. There. Got it. Okay. We're in business. We're in business. And this. It's delicate surgery, so I'm whispering. Oh, sugar shoes. See? Tissue paper. Get off my finger. Part of my problem is, now that I have a bandage on my finger here, yeah, I have micropore tape on top of a Band-Aid because the Band-Aid was small and would not stay on. Oh. There. Oh. There. Get that off of me. Okay. So there, so we have that. Okay, and which is fine, but we still need something else in here on or about, do we want to do it here? Let's do something here. We have barely pink visible here. We can use, let me go back over here to my pile. I don't think we're going to use that. That's just too much. But what I was thinking was the fabric scraps. Nope, that one's too much. Where's that other fabric scrap? That's other fabric scrap. Here it is. Here we go. What's this? Here we go. This. Oh, see, I did have another piece of it. All right, yeah, we could put this here. This is what we're going to do. We're going to put this one here. It's not going to hang over the edge. Well, it might hang over the edge a little bit. But we're going to glue this one down right here. Mash down the Fabrifix. And this one, going to cut off the threads that are hanging out there. Hello, hello. Come on, dag-nabbit. There. Okay. Now, I'm going to turn that edge over just to seal it in. I think I might need to throw some Fabrifix down out a little more. It's too close to the edge right there. Okay. Okay, and see, this one is, I also did on the sewing machine and gathered it up, but it's not gathered very much. So I'm just gathering it a little bit more. I'm just pulling it up, pulling it up. Pulling, 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 pulling. And I'm going to trim it off. Well, not yet. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Do we still have Fabrifix down there? Glob the Fabrifix down. And I'm going to cut it off there. Fold over under that edge and glue it down like that. That way it might fray a little bit on the sides, which is fine, but it's not going to fray on the top and bottom. Oops, this one needs to be turned under again. It's not going to fray on the top and bottom because it's glued down. This one is not, though. Make sure that that is turned under and pressed down. Okay, here we go. And this little bit we can use on a journaling card. Maybe I should take this little bit out of the trash too. We could use that on a journaling card somehow. I don't know, we'll figure it out. Okay, glue on my fingers. There. There. We also have this bit we can use as well. So we have that there, which is not coming off the edge. This here is coming off the edge. We can put this green one back here in the back. Let's see if we like that. On the last page, it does go with that. All right, let's just do it. Let's not think about things today, people, because yeah, I'm just not gonna think about them. I'm just gonna do it. Hopefully, let's see. The book is already becoming a gator mouth. It needs to go on the other side because of that. Because of the envelope, you're not going to be able to get in and out of it if I put it on that side. Okay, whoops. Let's get this in here so I can see where the end is. Right, I'm going off the edge. Glad I have that piece of catalog paper underneath it. Okay, and down. I have to unwind it as I go. Okay, let's see what we got there. I need to trim off this edge just a little. There. Okay. So it does match, and it also makes this go a little bit better because it pulls the colors over more. Let's make sure. Okay. All right. Lord knows I might wind up ripping this off, but right now I like the way it looks. So there's that. So we have, let's just take a look and see what we have going on here. 1, 2, 3 in the first signature, plus 3 hanger overs plus other stuff. 1, 2, only 2 in the second signature, which is fine because that's the middle of the book is our centerpiece, right? The center of the book is the centerpiece. We have here, we have 1, 2, 3 in the back, which is fine. Which is fine. Now, what else do I want to do here? I did set the timer because I am expecting a grocery delivery. I was expecting a grocery delivery today, so I did set the timer. Okay. And as I said, I'm going to have to go into my cross-stitch bucket over there and pull out my different alphabets and size it and get out the grid paper and all that and figure that out and put her name in there. Well, okay, so why don't we do, while we're doing this, let's go here. We're in this second signature, and let's do some soft lines on the edge of the pages, right? So, like for this one right here, that's a soft line, which is our homemade washi tape. This is a soft line, but I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. What I'm looking for is the flannel. The flannel that I made. Let's figure out, we can do something with that scrap. We have this. It's another scrap. We can use that on a journaling card. Where's the flannel that I made? We still have to decorate this. I put the pictures in there. Oh, glassine envelopes. Where's I can't find the flannel washi that I made. I don't think it's in here. This is antique bridal lace. No, it wouldn't be that buried that far down. Okay. Oh, sweet Jesus. We haven't done anything with this either, and we maybe will, maybe not. Oh, for heaven's sakes. Okay, let me look some more. Oh, well, there's the flannel. I thought I had some that was made into, I thought I had some that I already had made into washi tape, right? Obviously not. Okay, well, here we go. We can put a piece of flannel here. Again, let me get this down. We can put a piece of flannel here. Or because it has a little bit of room in it, because it is the first, we could put this down. Why don't we put this down? Here. Okay. Let's see what we got. I don't know if this is gonna get wide enough. There. Okay. Let's see what we have here. We can get, I'd have to stretch it a little bit. All right, right there. And I am making this, zigzagging it about an inch, I guess. Well, there, I made it a little heavy, because I want to make sure that this gets a good grip on it. And we're going to put that there, and we're going to stretch it to down there to make sure it goes the length of the page. It mostly went the length of the page. Okay, there's one. What do we have here? This right there is bothering me. Tuck that in. Okay. And then I wonder, we could put a piece of flannel down here. Okay. But what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to cut it down to a little over 9 inches. This is, see, that's why I'm sure I did this. I'm going to use the 2-inch wide. I'm going to use the 2-inch wide scrapbook.com adhesive on this. I'm just going to place it down like so. Whoops, something is under there that caused a bump. Okay, like so. Here. We're going to trim it off there. Now, what I'm going to do, also I will trim it off here. There. I'm going to use, this, and I'm going to use, let's see if I can use this again. All right, let me Just trim this off here to the side of the tape so that I have something. Alexa off. There's my timer so that I have something to do with this. Okay, I am going to do I have a, I thought I had a, oh, I'm going to have to bring one over here. I am trying to, although I can't see, I'm trying to line it up with, I'm trying to make it straight. And because it's stripes, I'm having difficulty of seeing the stripes, quite honestly, is my issue. That's my issue. No, that didn't work. Let me trim it down here. I'm trying to follow along the edge of the pink line right there. There we go. Well, that's not so bad considering who's doing the cutting. Truth be told, that's not so bad. It just is a bit wonky. And it's going to be wonky because that's just the nature of the beast. All right, 1/2 inch. Let's see how we do. Hopefully this won't shift, but knowing me, it will. There we go. And let's do another 1/2 inch while we're at it. Right there. Each one of these squares is 1/4 inch. So there. Okay. And I'm going to, we'll put that down on the page, and then we're going to have to call it for today because I need to be able to, the grocery delivery has frozen stuff in it, and it's groceries, you know, so I need to be able to bring it in and get it put away. There, okay. And here we go. Here we go, hopefully. Maybe, maybe not. Ow. And it actually hung off each little end. So, oof. Let's see if I can cut this off with those. And because the scrapbook.com adhesives are so strong, I don't have to worry about this fraying at all. Pretty sure it's not going to fray at all. So, there's that. Well, now, so we will continue on. See, it's bumpy. We got bumps, but that's fine. So this is Karynjean from Ex Libris Crafts. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Let's see what we can do here. I am horrible at, did I do enough? Ooh, I did. I'm horrible at tying bows, but we could wrap this like a present when we send it to my niece. Like so. Let's train it to stay closed. All right. Well, let your imagination take you to marvelous places. And thanks for stopping by. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.